groups, then make sure that you do that, because like Ashley and I said, our groups, Follow Your Bliss, Fit Fancy, will not, and then like, well, I'm not going to speak for them, but are not going to be a thing anymore. So everything will be posted in the coach family. So that's for like anyone and everyone to join. Your downline, all of that. Ashley and I know Autumn and Heather still have like our personally sponsored coach page, which I encourage you to have as well. And then, because it just makes it a little more intimate. And then the Carrot Club is for current diamonds. And then the runner circle, I feel like I'm most excited about because, like Ashley mentioned briefly, I saw some people requesting to join. If you got declined, maybe there was some confusion. So you have to be a current emerald, so not like a lifetime emerald. Like your active status is emerald, so it means you have 2 active coaches, and had to hit Success Club in November, December. We decided to give you guys 2 months to qualify for that, just because you guys didn't know about these groups. But like come next month when we clean out the group, it will be those that hit Success Club in January and are current emeralds. So like if you don't hit Success Club in January, sounds kind of brutal, but you're going to be removed. So because it's the runner circle. We want people that are running and doing whatever it takes and making things like Success Club and maintaining rank non-negotiable. And we've talked about getting some like guest speakers in there and just hosting some little things that we're still working on. So that's what the runner circle is. Actually, I don't see Doug yet, but are there any questions about those 2 groups those 2 groups, those 3 groups? And then if you're a star diamond on the team, you'll be added to a text string when we begin.
The other thing that I want to talk about on the call, aside from the groups, is an Allie St. Germain. I was just texting with her, and she reminded me of it. But this month, if you guys are wanting to go on the trip, so they'll announce where, the cruise is going to happen in a couple months. So a lot of you are new, though, and maybe aren't going on the cruise. So then we will learn at this Super Saturday that's in a couple weeks. We will learn, oh my God, we need to say Happy New Year. Guys, but we will learn in the next couple weeks, I think it's the 11th, 12th, something like that, where your trip is in 2020. And in January, they always do double trip dollars. So how it works to earn your spot on this trip is if you are in Success Club, every Success Club point that you get counts as $10. No, $5. No, 10. Every Success Club point counts as $10 if you hit Success Club. If you get Success Club 3, then it's $5 a point. Like if you, whatever points on the board, if you're not in Success Club, they're $5. If you are in Success Club, they're 10. And this month they double, and they max out those double at $500. So I always have my goal of hitting Success Club 25 in the month of January, because that means normally that would be, if you have 25 Success Club points, that would be $250. But because they double them this month, it's going to be $500 towards your trip. And generally the trip is like $1,200 for you and a guest, and your Success Club points just start like chipping away at that you don't, so then you don't have to pay for it. So think about what your goal is for the month, and just try to, earn money to pay for that trip that we'll go on 2020 together.
Yeah, and you're going to start seeing people posting because the trip this year is in March. So there's going to be FOMO for sure. So don't wait till March to get that fire. Get it now, like Ashley said, because of those dollars double. And then when she said that, it reminded me that Heather has so graciously offered to make our monthly calendar every month. And so I know for me, I get overwhelmed when I see all these calls and stuff, or like specials or whatever. So it will always be the pinned post in the new coach family group. So that's at the top of the page. I would save that on your phone. I would just have that somewhere where you can see it, so that way there's nothing you can miss out on. But I see Doug, so I know that he didn't have to work today. So he is so kind to come on here and talk to us. And just a quick introduction. Doug is part of corporate. He's been my mentor. I know he's been Ashley's mentor for a while. And he is also the creator of the Elite program. And it is what you hear us talk about all the time. Like, why do you want to be elite? What does it take? But there's been some changes this year. So I'm going to let him talk about those. And he's going to tell you exactly how to get there and what to expect this year. So I'm going to make him host and go right ahead.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks, guys. And I feel very welcomed. Hey, I think it's awesome. 95 coaches on New Year's Day on a Team Beachbody team call. How awesome. Congratulations for being here. Obviously, I hope you had a great holiday. Hopefully everyone was just, time with the family and all the things. And I can tell you that I've been in the mountains, like my kids, like literally their highlight of Christmas is, and this is a little redneck, but we literally get a pickup and I tie 4 sleds behind the pickup and we go driving through the woods and my kids are in heaven. And let me be clear, my kids aren't 2 and 4. My kids are, the youngest is 13, the oldest is 26. And so that's our Christmas activity. And anyway, some of you from California might think that's scary and dangerous, but some of you will relate and fully understand that that's really cool. Okay, so we're excited to be back. We're in the office tomorrow. I can't wait. The new year, 2019 is here. And, man, I'm excited. I mean, I can't tell you guys. If you don't know, 2017, when Beachbody launched Beachbody On Demand All Access, it was an adjustment year. It was a kind of a transition year for the company. And it was a little bit of a struggle. And then what happened is we got to 2018 and, man, we got things aligned. We had some great launches. We had products come out. We had, literally all the stars kind of came back into alignment. But I will just tell you that as a company, we're still getting better. I mean, there's still lots of things that we're dialing in that we're trying to improve on constantly. But I'll just tell you that 2018 was an outstanding year for the company. And a lot of our coaches are just, having phenomenal years. But I'm also going to tell you that 2019, if you don't know, hopefully you do, we've already got kind of the runway set. Obviously we're in the middle of the Transform 20 launch. December 4th kind of came and went, big volume, lots of great things happening there. I know a ton of coaches are launching it again right now, today, tomorrow, the next week. Because you know what? The program comes out on the 14th, but you ought to be leveraging out there, going after, people that are the New Year's resolution crowd that are out there saying, hey, I'm going to, start now. This is it. This is the year. I'm going to make a, big change right now. Absolutely Transform 20, dial that in, and hopefully you're really kind of headed towards that. We have Super Saturday coming up on the 12th of January, hopefully, and it's really, now we're calling it Super Weekend because some happen on Fridays, some on Saturdays, some on Sundays. They're all over the country. If you don't know, you should, check the back office to find out where and when, and make sure that you can attend a Super Saturday. Essentially a Super Saturday, for those that you don't know, it's just where the company kind of comes together and pushes out new products, talks about kind of the excitement of what's on the horizon. And kind of kicks off the year. And we do it 4 times a year. So the first one's January 12th. So make sure that, that not this next weekend, but the following weekend, you're attending a Super Saturday somewhere. And if not, I mean, I still think you can register to host. If you want to host a Super Saturday, you can host one in your home and have 3 coaches over and do your own thing. Anyway, you should absolutely look into that and take that opportunity. So these guys have asked me, well, I can't celebrate with Ashley and Emily yet. Obviously, the year is over. Obviously, they are in the Elite 10. But you know what? The numbers are done. The math is being complete. And then they will go through the audits and all the things. And those calls are not going to happen until I think the 9th. So, hold your breath, hang on tight, and we'll get you there. But yeah, right now everything kind of comes up. The year gets kind of, put to bed, and then we go out and we run the numbers and we celebrate what happened. And we know that certainly Ashley and Emily have had an amazing year. You guys are a part of that. If you don't know, obviously you're on one of the best teams in the entire network. And I don't just say that as far as the Elite 10 or top 10 coaches, because top 10 coaches are awesome, but guys, it's way more than that. It's the understanding of the business that's important. You know, there's coaches that can go out and have big numbers and accomplish a lot of things, but the ability to be a leader and help others succeed, that's really what this business needs. If you're going to be a top coach, you've got to figure out that duplication of leadership, and you got to be able to help others. So with that, I've been asked to kind of cover what's called Road to Elite, and it's new this year because we kind of, you know, the Elite program at Beachbody, for those of you that are new, is, well, when you go to Summit, if you haven't been to Summit, you're going to see that right down in the middle of the floor, there are the seats, and in the middle is the elite coaches. The elite coaches at Beachbody are the coaches that the company has chosen, that we said, hey, these are the fundamental activities that if you do these activities at this level, we're going to celebrate you. And so throughout the entire course of the year, elite is the goal. It's what we want people to achieve. And we align this program in order to help people achieve elite. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen so that you guys can see what I'm talking about when I look at the Road to Elite. So let me turn this on. I'm just gonna share my desktop. Hopefully that won't break anything. Share. And then I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna play. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, can you guys see that okay? Okay. So, and I'm gonna try and keep it very, very simple. Just so that, you know, I don't want to talk high level. I just want to keep it simple for you guys. Actually, why did it start there? Here we go. That's funny. Here we go. Elite. What is an elite coach at Beachbody? Well, we just ended 2018. The elite coaches for 2018 are the coaches who ended the year as a 5-star diamond. They earned what we call 105 leadership points. And they created 2 new personally sponsored diamond. That is the elite program. So if you meet those 3 requirements at the end of 2019, plus 1 other requirement, then you're going to be elite this year. Okay, but this Road to Elite concept came from literally a meeting I had with Carl, where Carl's the CEO of the company. He and I are talking about elite, and I'm training him on the elite program, and he says, okay, so we have a lot of coaches who set this goal to become elite. And I said, well, generally speaking, most coaches start the year in January and they say, man, I want to get to elite. And elite's this big goal. So when you look at this slide right here, this is just kind of showing you're standing at the first of this road and elite's clear at the end of the road. Well, we like it. We like that coaches set the big goal and that they go after the big goal. This year we're tweaking it just a little bit. Okay, now let me come back to that, because as a lot of you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain. So when I look at the elite program, what you have to do, as I explained, where did it go? Now mine's frozen on me. There we go. I talked about these 105 leadership points. I want to explain to you how you earn these leadership points, because these are the fundamental activities in the business, and as you do them, you earn points, okay? So let me walk you through what the fundamentals are per the elite program. And I'm not sure, Emily, is my Zoom screens covering anything, or are you guys okay to see it? We're good? Okay, we're good. Okay. So the first way that you earn leadership points, because the leadership points are what's going to get you on the road to elite, okay? The first thing that you do to earn leadership points is you have coaches that you sign in 2019, and you have customers that you sell to in 2019. When you sign or sell to customers or coaches this year, that produces personal volume, PV. When that personal volume accumulates to 500, every time it adds to 500, you get 1 leadership point for that. Okay, so let's just say that you hit Success Club by signing 3 coaches, but you know, one of those coaches sold the challenge pack to their sister as a customer, so their PV was actually higher. Let's just say that the cumulative PV from your activity was 600. Well, then that 600 would, at the end of the month, we'd say, yay, congratulations, you got 1 elite point in this category. Man, but because I got 500 of it, that 100 carryover would actually carry and go into the next month, and the next time it added to 500, we'd give you another elite point, okay? So this is called leadership APV. This is the first way to earn elite points or leadership points, okay? You get it by APV, stands for Acquisition Personal Volume. You hit Success Club through signing coaches and customers. It produces PV, therefore you get elite or leadership points for that. The second category is what we call Leadership Success Club points. These come from the coaches that you signed up in 2018 or 2019. When your personally sponsored coaches from last year or this year, when they hit Success Club, you get an elite point. So if you had a coach hit Success Club in January, you got an elite point, or you'll get one. If they do it again in February, you'd get another one for them. So every month your PS coaches from last year or this year hit Success Club, you get an elite point. The cool thing is when you hit Success Club, we double it. So if you had 3 personally sponsored coaches hit Success Club and you hit Success Club, you get 3 points for them. You hit Success Club, we double it, you get 6 points for that, okay? So understanding that that's the second category is Success Club. You're going to hit Success Club. You're going to help your coaches hit Success Club. That's how you're going to earn these leadership points. Again, just covering the fundamentals of the business, you guys. Leadership PS 1 plus SC. Keeping it simple. These are your 2019 personally sponsored coaches. When you sign a coach any month this year, if they get into productivity, meaning they get 1 Success Club point within their first full month, you get a leadership point for that, okay? Give you an example. You sign me up as a coach today. I become your coach January 1st. Well, if I get a Success Club point in January or all the way through the end of February, you get a leadership point for that. If you sign me on January 31st, you still have through the end of February. So it's the month they sign up in plus the second month, okay? So if they get a Success Club point in that, you get an elite point in this category. So what this is recognizing is you signing coaches and then getting them into productivity. So what do? Whenever you sign a new coach, you want to help them get started. And that's what this recognizes, okay? So now we're going to jump into kind of where Road to Elite came from so that we can help you understand it. You've got, well, some of you don't know this, but there's a program called the Leadership Ladder. And the Leadership Ladder kind of sat outside of Beachbody's recognition program. And it was a program where we celebrated coaches doing some other basic activities of building volume and creating income. And what we really tracked in the Leadership Ladder was weak leg volume. Because as you understand the compensation plan, you're going to understand that you earn cycle bonuses via volume that's generated within the binary, within your 2 legs. You have a left leg, you have a right leg. One of them is a strong leg, the other is the weak leg. Whichever volume has less volume is the weak leg. Well, the Leadership Ladder helps coaches understand that, man, if they create weak leg volume, then their income will increase, okay? And so what we did this year is we are going to put away the Leadership Ladder. It's no longer going to exist. And we are bringing it into the Road to Elite. So here we are, January 1st. Every one of you, including Emily and Ashley and everybody else and Heather, everybody is currently standing at the first day of the Road to Elite. We've never had this before as a company, and here we go. Every single coach right now is building to become a team builder. All of you are on the path to get to team builder. How are you going to get there? What you're going to do to become a team builder is, number 1 is you're going to become a diamond coach and you're going to hold it 6 consecutive weeks. Okay, when you do that, or if you already are a diamond coach or higher, you hold diamond or higher for 6 consecutive weeks. In the back office, there will be a check mark that says, congratulations, check, you've held diamond 6 weeks. The second qualification is you're going to earn 25 leadership points. Well, I just told you how you earn the points. APV, Acquisition Personal Volume, PSSC, Personally Sponsored Coaches Hitting Success Club, PS 1 plus SC, Personally Sponsored Coaches Getting Started into Activity. So that's where those 25 points are going to come from, and that's what you're working towards. You also have to build 1 new Personally Sponsored Emerald, and you have to have cumulative 1,000 TV on your weak leg over the course of any 5 weeks. It used to be monthly. We used to say in January, weak leg volume had to be X. February. Now we don't do that. Now we're just going to call it a rolling 5 weeks. If any 5 weeks in a row you have 1,000 TV, whenever it adds up to 1,000, that's going to check the box next to that requirement. So it's not 1,000 a week. It's average 200 a week in order to cumulative have 1,000. Okay. So when you look at this, I want you to understand this, because if you're an Emerald coach or you're a new Diamond coach, I'm going to tell you, if you need that 1,000 week leg volume, the way you're going to get it is by holding Diamond for 6 consecutive weeks. When we run the data, if you're a Diamond that goes into Diamond and drops out of Diamond, it goes into Diamond and drops out of Diamond, the weak leg volume for most Diamonds that are doing that activity, it stays below the 1,000. When you get to Diamond and you hold it 6 consecutive weeks, your volume weak leg, generally speaking, will accumulate and be over 1,000. So that's what Team Builder is. Everybody's on the path to Team Builder. If you get to Team Builder, I don't have it with me here at my house, there's a trophy. We're going to mail it to you. The second you meet these 4 requirements, we're going to ship you out a Team Builder trophy. It's a crystal block that you're going to receive that says Team Builder 2020. Okay? That's the first step on the road to elite. Once you've done that, you're going to be heading towards Team Leader. Okay? So you're all going towards Team Builder first. Now you're headed towards Team Leader. And I can't see comments. I'll come back and answer questions that I see at the end, and we can answer everything and clean it up. Emily, if you see something that needs to be answered, let me know and I'll chime in and we can hit that there. Team Leader. Okay, now what I need to do is, instead of being a Diamond, I got to get to 1-star. Okay, that means I have to build 1 new personally sponsored Diamond for me to be a 1-star Diamond or higher. I have to hold that rank for 6 consecutive weeks. Well, now I've got to earn 50 leadership points. Okay, but let me be clear. It's not 50 more. If I've already got 25 to get me to Team Builder, well, I got to get 25 more to get to Team Leader. Okay, so it's not another 50. It's just 50 total combined. Then what I have to do is I have to build 2 new emeralds or 1 new diamond. So to be a Team Builder, you had to get 1 emerald. So I'm just saying, either get another emerald or take that first emerald and get them to diamond. Because if they go to diamond, that would meet that requirement. Okay? The 4th requirement for a Team Leader is 2,500 TV on your weak leg. Okay? So averaging 500 a week over the course of 5 weeks, that's how you're going to get this. But if you understand cycles and if you understand what that means, once we get you to Team Leader, you're a 1-star Diamond, you got 2,500 TV over 5 weeks. Well, if you do that 2,500 in the course of a month, let's say, well, even at 500 a week average, you're going to get about $20 a week in cycles, your dollars a week. So you have the potential at this point to be making between $400 to $600 a month in income. That's where that weak leg volume comes into play. When you start to understand the compensation plan and start to grasp what the weak leg volume does, that's where the compensation plan really starts to come into play. Right now, I'm just helping you kind of understand the fundamentals of why that volume matters, okay? So you became a Team Builder, you become a Team Leader. When you go Team Leader, we're going to send you another crystal trophy. It actually fits on top of the first one, and it says Team Leader. Now you've achieved Team Builder, now you're a Team Leader. You also get, I think this is here, yes, you also get what we call the Team Leader backpack. Every new Team Leader will get the Team Leader backpack this year. In 2018, these backpacks were only shipped out to new Team Leaders. So there weren't very many coaches who earned it. If you did earn it in 2018, guess what? You're going to get it again this year. But coaches like Emily, who had already achieved Team Leader before this year, well, here you go. They're going to earn this backpack. The good news is Emily and the leaders are all going to get it somewhere mid-February, and then they're all going to have them carrying them around at Summit so that everyone who wants a backpack says, where'd you get your backpack? Well, here you go. Become a Team Leader and get you a backpack. So it's all there. We're going to get you the backpack, the second piece of the trophy for achieving Team Leader. Okay? If that's your goal for the year, is to get to 1-star and to become a Team Leader, that's fantastic. Okay? I don't want everyone to say, I got to get to elite or I fail. That is not the purpose of the road to elite. There are many coaches in the network who are saying, I just want to become a Team Leader. Well, you know what? If that's your year-end goal is to get to 1-star, 50 leadership points, build your 2 emeralds, get your 2,500 weak leg volume, that's a great goal. So I don't want to take anything away from this. But I'm going to tell you, let's say I could get to team builder, within the first 90 days, team leader in the second 90 days. Now I'm at the end of June, I'm a team leader. Now I've got the road where I can say, man, I can actually see where I could get to Premier. The Premier program has changed. For those of you that understand what Premier looks like in 2018, you're going to see that we made Premier easier in 2019. We actually made it a step in the road to elite, meaning you'll notice every one of these is just graduating you up a level before you get to elite. The Premier program in 2018 and before really ended up being almost like a consolation prize. You got the points, you built the 2 diamonds, but you couldn't get to 5-star, so man, you ended up as a Premier coach. Well, it's not like that anymore. Premier is now a step on the road to elite. You've got to become a 2-star diamond. You got to hold it 6 consecutive weeks, 75 combined leadership points, 1 new personally sponsored diamond, and 5,000 TV on your week leg. Okay? Again, 5,000, it's 1,000 a week. This means that you're cycling 10 times, 10 to 12 times a week at $18. You're making $200 a week. So you should be making somewhere when you get to Premier about $1,000 a month, based on the week leg volume and how the math works, okay? So when you see this, this is now the step, right? Now if I can get to 2-star and I can get this, man, now I can see elite. I can see that I can finish this out before the end of the year. So when I look at the road to elite, man, I got to get you to Premier. Like Premier really is a key step. I'm going to tell you this as well. We believe in the network. Team builders in 2019, there's going to be about 3,000 of them. Team leaders in the network, I'll bet you we'll have between 1,000 and 1,500. Premier leaders, I'll bet you we have 400 to 500 at the end of the year. So that's what we're building for. You can be one of the 400 or 500 Premier coaches at the end of 2019. Just meet these requirements, okay? Elite. You want to become an elite coach? I've already told you what the requirements are. 5-star diamond held 6 consecutive weeks. 105 what we call balanced leadership points. I'll talk about that in a second. And you have to build 2 new diamonds. And then the week leg volume, we didn't increase it from Premier. We just carried it forward. And the only reason we want that in there is because, well, number one, I don't want you to make elite without making Premier. So the week leg volume's there. I will tell you that every elite coach we didn't pull the data yet for 2018 yet, but for 2017, 100% of the elite coaches that hit elite had 5,000 week leg volume in the course of the year. So it's really not a requirement, but it is kind of part of the program. So here's the deal. Balanced leadership points. What does that mean? Well, elite doesn't just say, go get the points out of any category anywhere you want. We put caps in each category, okay? In the APV category, you can get 50 of your 105 leadership points. In the PSSC category, you can get 50 there as well. Okay, so you're capped at 50 in APV, 50 in PS1 plus or PSSC. In the PS1 plus SC, you got to have that happen 5 times at a minimum. You can have it happen up to 25 times. But my point is, guys, when you go elite, we now say you can't just sell, 10,000 challenge packs and become an elite coach. At some point, the duplication of personally sponsored coaches advancing in rank is a requirement. We want you to become a leader. We want to help you develop others into leadership roles. And as you're developing leaders, that's going to build your business. That's going to build your organization. That's going to build your income. That's what this program is going to do for you. Okay? So that's the road to elite. That's what gets you there. You can see each category builds on the next. Right now, Emily Favre, Heather, Ashley, everybody is sitting January 1st. I got to get to team builder. Everybody is, okay? Everybody's even. Everybody needs to earn their 25 leadership points, need to build their new emerald, need to get their 1,000 TV, and need to hold diamond 6 consecutive weeks. Once we do that, we build towards team leader, then to premier, and then on to elite. So I just want you to see this. I want you to understand it because, guys, we have a lot of coaches. I was at a retreat a few weeks ago, and it was interesting because there's probably 20 coaches in the room. And I said, okay, how many of you started the year in 2018, January, with the goal to be elite? And it was like 7 hands went up. And I said, how many are you going to make it? And it was like 2 of them are going to make it. Well, and I kind of felt bad because these other 5 had worked hard and they just hadn't gotten to Premier or to Elite, but they had done Success Club. They had been doing the right activities. Well, now you can see that through the right activities, you're going to get on the road to Elite. We're going to get you to Team Builder. We're going to get you to Team Leader. So you're going to be able to see your own progression throughout the course of the year. You're going to be able to set your own goals, be able to align behind them, and be able to achieve this. Now, let me give you a couple of tips. Guys, the APV category, Acquisition Personal Volume, I told you it comes from personally sponsored coaches and customers during the current year, 2019. Okay, well, if you sign me up as a coach personally sponsored by you today, January 2019, then all the personal volume I create over the course of 12 months will count for you towards that category. Okay, if you sign me in October, November, I'm going to count for 2 months. October, I'm going to count for 3. January, I count for 12. What does that mean? It means that if you're going to go for Elite and then you're going to be on the road to Elite, January, February, March are the most important months of the year. You've got to be actively producing, hitting Success Club, helping others, achieve their goals to lead a healthy, fulfilling life. Like, you got to be doing the activities of a coach early in the year. Now, I'm going to put a caution out there, and this is not a hard and fast rule, but I think it's important. Spouse accounts. If you sponsor a coach and give it to your spouse, let me be clear, that will not count for you for Elite. It will count for him. So building a spouse account early in the year is not recommended, because I need those coaches sponsored by me in order for me to be able to earn Elite and achieve the goals that I'm setting for myself. Okay. Now, what I told you is that's not a hard, that there are times when that's not true, but in general, that's the course. That's what most coaches should be doing. You should be building your business January, February, March. If you were to go out and sign 10 coaches in January, 10 in February, you would be way ahead in the ballgame of getting to Elite this year, because the acquisition personal volume, because the coaches that you're helping and them starting to hit Success Club, all those fundamental activities would all line up to help you have more coaches, more of an army to help you accomplish this goal. So just understand, January, February, March are the most important time of the year. That's why we launched Transform 20 right now. We know that you as coaches are right now jumping, and you have this huge opportunity to start your year off and running. Okay, guys, that's the road to Elite. There's one other rule that we changed. Doesn't impact most coaches. It does impact ranking. So what we do is every month we rank the Elite coaches from number 1, which all year happened to be Ashley Molstad, number 3, Emily Favre, blah, 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 all the way down. Like, every one of them is ranked. Last year, you were ranked based on your cumulative Elite point totals, and you got 25 points when one of your personally sponsored coaches advanced to 1 star, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Last year, you also got 25 points when you had personally sponsored coaches go team leader. That goes away this year. Team leader does not count towards Road to Elite, because you're going to have every coach is going to hit team leader this year. Emily Favre is going to hit team leader this year, and we're not going to give Ashley Molstad 25 points for that. It's not fair in the ranking for the top coaches who have the best coaches underneath them with high rank to be able to get those points by having their coaches build. So what we did is we said, instead of team leader, you're going to get 25 Elite ranking points for every new personally sponsored success starter that you create. Okay, so any coach that you have that hits Success Starter, that's 25 points towards your ranking. Now, that doesn't count towards your 105 points. It just goes towards the ranking. Okay, 25. Let me just make sure I've covered everything. Oh, and if you have any coaches in Success Starter right now, let's say that they hit the first month that they went into Success Club was November, and their second month was December. Their third month is January. Boom, those would count towards this. So if they hit Success Starter in 2019, meaning that their third month was in 2019, we're going to count it for this program. Okay, so let me stop sharing. I've talked way too much. Oh, I got to figure out where my mouse is. Stop share. There we go. Okay, questions. Does this mean that, okay, whoa, let me go up higher. So is this for new coaches you sign, not existing coaches? And leadership points are the same thing. Yes, leadership points and elite points are the same thing. New coaches, not existing. Okay, existing coaches, coaches you signed in 2018, count towards the PSSC category, meaning they count towards them hitting Success Club. They don't count towards APV. APV is always the current year. So that's why recruiting coaches January early in the year is important. Does this mean that you should add coaches to your weak leg first? You know, that depends. I would tell you to talk to your upline, to Ashley, to Emily, to someone who's more familiar with your business. What it means is, number one, don't overthink placement when you're just getting started. Left leg, right leg, right leg, kind of go back and forth. Because eventually what you need is diamonds on the left, diamonds on the right, so that I can get you to 2-star. You've got to have a diamond on each side. So sure, building your weak leg is always important because that's where the cycles come from. So ideally, if you get a diamond on your weak leg, is that better than having a diamond on your right leg or your strong leg? Well, certainly if you have a strong leg and you build a diamond on your weak leg and let's say that diamond produces volume, if that doesn't become your strong leg, that's awesome because that means you're making more money. Okay, so for sure, if you have a strong leg, let's say you have a leg that's 1,200 a week and you got 200 a week on your weak leg. Well, that means you're not getting half. You need to have half of the strong leg volume on your weak leg. So if I have 1,200 strong and I'm having 200 weak, I need to build the weak to 600, right? Because then I would be able to maximize the cycle bonuses that are being paid out. So understand, sure, you should build your weak leg in order to maximize the payout per the compensation plan. Love the backpack. Okay, Autumn. Oh, yeah, Autumn, I knew that. Autumn, how are you? Good to see you. But, dude, well, nobody's elite. Emily Favre is not elite yet, guys. Nobody has called and celebrated her yet. That does not happen until the 9th. So, anyway. Is there a reason to put coaches under our spouse account to help them hit Success Club if we don't have any working coaches yet or still? Man, I would talk to Ashley and Emily and Autumn and Heather. And yeah, I would ask that. I don't know. Here's the problem. There's lots of different strategy and line of thinking on why you're doing what you're doing. You'll never see me stand. Well, I say that, but most of the time, I don't stand in front of the room and train the compensation plan. Here's why. Every one of your stories, your volume, weak leg, right leg, strong leg, spouse's account, it's all different. And so for me to say, yeah, you should build your weak leg, yeah, that can't be said because I don't know exactly what's happening in your business. So do you want your spouse account to hit Success Club? I mean, sure, especially if it signed up last year, because that would count as a PS coach hitting Success Club, which would get you elite points. So, sure. I mean, there are times, yes, no, I would talk to your upline. Is there a reason? I already read that one. Okay. Can you go over the cap categories again? Okay, so the caps in each category. APV, acquisition personal volume, the cap is 50. Again, this does apply to elite and premier. Okay, so but 75 points total you needed to be premier. 50 of them can come from APV in premier or in elite. So acquisition personal volume, the cap is 50. Personally sponsored coaches hitting Success Club, the cap in that category is 50. Meaning that to get to my 105, I can get 50 from each of those two categories. The cap in PS 1+ SC, personally sponsored coaches that get started in Success Club activity, those points, I told you 5. The cap is 25. You can have it happen 25 times. The reason I say the number 5 is that if I cap the first two categories, 50 and 50, I have to minimum have 5 coaches get started, get into SC activity to get my 5 points to get to the 105. You can do it up to 25 times, And if you do, then it would offset the other two categories. Is there an FAQ about these changes already? Absolutely. It's already out there. And yeah, it's out. If you go to the champions page, search Road to Elite, Kim Carver and Kevin are uploading units to the champions page. They're going to go through all this as well. So guys, there's no reason you shouldn't know Road to Elite. You're going to see it in your back office. It's not there yet. I will tell you, the programmers are still in process of essentially taking down the leadership ladder stuff and bringing in the Road to Elite stuff. That's going to be done somewhere mid-February, so you'll be able to see everything. If you don't know, at a Diamond Coach is when you start seeing the elite points in your back office, and they come in the second Friday of every month is when they update. At the end of the year, we update them every week. Starting a new year, you won't see a new elite report or any elite numbers until the second Friday in February. Okay, so that's standard operating. You know, there are sometimes some tweaks and adjustments, but that's where we're at today. So the takeaway, couple of things. Number one, set the goal. Number two, align your activities to the goal. I don't care, you know, if your goal is to get to team leader, get to team leader. If your goal is premier, get to premier. If you want to get to elite, figure out how to get to elite. The cool thing is, if my goal is to be elite, then man, how quickly can I get to team builder? All right, now I'm on the road to elite, and I can start checking boxes, and I can start meeting requirements to get me to elite. But now you can take this as a goal, and I can bite off pieces that I can chew one bite at a time. I don't have to just say, hey, I'm at the first of the year, I'm going for elite. Right now you can say, I'm going for elite. How do I get to team builder? How do I get to team leader? What do I do to get to premier? So now you're going to line this thing up to get you there. Okay? So guys, get it done. I mean, I would just tell you that we've met, we've gone through this. It really is going to simplify the business of coaching. It's going to get rid of the leadership ladder, just kind of noise that doesn't align. You're going to see, guys, everything aligns. So let me close with this, and then we can do questions or whatever you want to do. Here's what I want you to understand. So I'm now the vice president of coach development for Beachbody. So I run the team that works with the coaches as they advance in the business. I will tell you that my goal is to help coaches maximize the compensation plan. Okay, I want you to make more income. Okay, that's my goal. Now, how do I do that? Well, I need you to learn some things. I need you to do some activities. But when you do the work, I want you to get paid for it. So what we do is we have the comp plan. It's simple. It's easy to understand. And then what we do is we stick this thing called the recognition plan underneath it. The recognition plan is Success Club, Success Starter, Success Club All-Star, Legend, Elite, Premier, Team Leader, Team Builder. Like all of that stuff is in the recognition plan. If you're maximizing the recognition plan, it should drive compensation. Okay, and then as a company, guess what we do? We throw out monthly promotions, and we have launches, and we kick off new products. So we have every month, we have monthly promotions and, you know, things for you to talk about and sell and to share with others. And all those things do is drive the recognition plan that also drives the compensation plan. So everything we have, guys, we're trying to get better and align this whole thing so that if you do the work, we can get you paid for doing the work. Okay, but you got to do the work. Like it's not, you know, Beachbody is not easy. A lot of coaches having a lot of great success. I can tell you, you can do it. You just have to put the time and effort in to learn the skills that it takes to be a Beachbody coach. You help others. You have a genuine interest in it. You can accomplish anything with this business. So Emily, what do you want to do now?
I mean, I think that's all. That's all I want to do. Well, I want to get to work is what I want to do. No, I don't know if anyone has any questions. I think I'm looking forward to it because, like you said, there's benchmarks and like stepping stones instead of just like this big goal thrown at you, like here, achieve this. So I'm just excited that, you know, there's some stepping stones this year. But I don't have any questions or anything.
Anybody else? Questions? Did I lose you in the math? Did I lose you in acquisition, personal volume, PS, SC, PS, 1 plus SC? Any of that not make sense to you? We're good?
Yeah, I think I'm good. Really appreciate your time.
So now if we could just figure out how to get Dylan to do something. Like I get so tired of watching his numbers, and he just doesn't do anything. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, he's bummed that you said I can't build his account in January. So
That's right. January, February, or March.
yeah. No. But yeah, I mean, thank you so much. I know you're not supposed to work today, so we appreciate you hopping on here. And now we're gonna have, if you're done, we're gonna have Autumn and Heather, our two girls that didn't think they'd hit elite at the beginning of the year or even mid-year, share kind of like how they got there. So you can stay and hang out or get back to your fam. But
well, I just got to say this. How come every time I see Heather, she looks like she's skinnier? Like, Heather, you're like going to disappear eventually.
I know. It's crazy.
I'm trying to be a product of the product.
Well, it's working.
It is working.
Awesome. All right, I'll mute. Be quiet. Sorry. Keep going.
Thank you so much, Doug. Okay, Heather or Autumn, whichever one wants to go first.
I can go. I have just kind of walk you guys through. Is that what you want me to do? Just kind of walk through what this year looks like?
Yeah, or like that sounds good. And like what was going through your mind? Even I feel like in September and October, you didn't think this was going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be real with us. Sure.
I think it's important to know, and you guys have heard me say this before, but this is a lot of information to come on a call. And if you guys are a new coach, you're like, whoa, what is this? And like, how do I even start? But I think it's important to know, like, I've been a coach for lots of years. So has Emily, but Heather didn't join until the end of February. So wherever you're at, and then Autumn, and Emily's been a coach for 4 or 5 years or whatever, and this was her first year as an elite. And so it doesn't matter where you're at in your business. It's possible for every single person on this call. And so I think it's cool to hear from Heather and Autumn about their road to elite this last year, because they look really different, but also to hopefully give you guys hope that like wherever you're sitting today is where you need to be. And then like there's potential for all of us to end as elite,
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys all on this call have a leg up on where I was in 2018. So like Ashley said, I started coaching on February 20th, 2018. So I had 10 days and I started hearing all this stuff about Success Club, and I heard this rumor about this trip, and I think maybe vacations are my love language. So I was like, all right, whatever I have to do to get that. And so I pulled the old leaderboards because I wanted to see like what was the Success Club numbers that kind of matched this journey and all of that. So here's my timeline. So February 20th, I started coaching. In February, in those 10 days, I just hit the ground running. And I ran since the beginning, but my mindset didn't, I guess. I mean, I just signed up. I didn't tell my husband that I signed up, so do that if you haven't already. But I just wanted to cover the cost of my shakes. Emily and Dylan are goals sitting on the call together. Brandon will be on one of these one day. But so I just wanted to cover the cost of my shakes. So when I think Ashley and Emily were like, you should hit Success Club 5, I just started with the mindset like, okay, well, they're the experts at this. I'm just going to do what they say. And so I knew to make this not cost my husband and I money, I needed to hit that Success Club. And I wanted to make a little to prove him, because he was the world's biggest skeptic. Doug knows, Emily and Dylan know. So I just wanted to prove him wrong my first month. So that's what I did with Success Club 8. And then in March, it was March 15th, so less than a month into coaching, I hit Emerald. On March 29th, I hit Diamond. And the month of March, I hit Success Club 48. So my second full month of coaching, Success Club 48. And how did I do that? I feel like there was like a diamond dash or something. And I heard Emily and I think another coach talk about inviting 80 people a day. So I was like, okay, I'm going to invite 80 people a day. So I started doing that. And then on April 19th, I went into 2-star qual, and that was 56 days into my coaching journey. In April, I had the highest Success Club number to date, and that was when we finished 80-Day Obsession. So I fully committed. I saw Emily do it, so I decided to do it. I just fully committed to 80-Day Obsession, followed the program to the T, and shared everything. I didn't know what I was doing. I scroll back at my posts and I'm like, what a mess. But I shared and people related to it. So that was April, and my third month of coaching, Success Club 76. And then on May 24th, it was official 2-star, and by that time it was Premier. So I remember I love all the forms and the organization this year that you guys are doing for Premier and Elite and all of the benchmarks, because I remember just Googling Elite points and just saved it on my phone, and I would keep track of that. And so by May, I had the points for Premier and 2-star official. And then this is when things got really hard. So if you guys have been on past calls, Ashley's talked about it a little bit, but everything came crumbling down around probably July and August, because I completely lost my runner and I had to rebuild from the beginning. So months like August, September, October were really, really tough. I think I hit the team. I got the backpack, I want to say, in May. So it was all rainbows and butterflies and hustling really hard February through May. And then it got tough. But I didn't let it set me back. I just knew that Elite was my goal. I didn't think it was possible, but I was going to try my hardest. And then in October, I got 2-star back. And my team did diamond dashes, and we would go in and like 1 or 2 diamonds would pop. And then finally it was just at the end, I was like, okay, guys, we can either run for this or not. And on November 22nd, which was the very, very last day to go into 5-star qual, I had a text group with my girls that were dashing for diamond and just really one-on-one attention with them. And they really exceeded my expectations. I mean, I was nervous, to be honest. I mean, I don't want to ever sound like I believed in them, but I don't know that I believed it was possible. And so on November 22nd, we went into 7-star qual. So they just blew me out of the water, and they all went together, and they held together. And it was probably the most stressful 6 weeks of my entire life. But this December 27th, we called it 7 strong, and all 7 stayed solid for diamond. And so that's what the year looks like. And in terms of Success Club, April was 76. I don't know if I've hit that again. That's my goal. I want to hit 100 one day. Again, that's one of my 2019 goals. But my goal is always at least Success Club 50. And sometimes I hit it and sometimes I don't, but that's what I go into each month with the goal. And I set benchmarks. So Success Club 5 by the 5th is really a non-negotiable for me. And Success Club 10 by the 10th as well. And then by the 5th, I know if I need to be around 25. So I just really set those benchmarks and goals. And there was one month that I was not Success Club 10 by the 10th. And it was the month, I think it was August, that we were going for Shanti. And I wanted to be in that test group so bad. And I was at Success Club 0 on, I think, the 10th of the month. And it was my birthday, August 10th. And so I sent like 250 invites that day, and it paid off. And I ended up hitting like Success Club 40. So it's just been a matter of like the not sexy stuff, like the day in and day out. And I'm getting a lot of questions now, because I guess on the National Wake Up Call, they said something about 2 to 7-star. And like my answer is just, I invite my freaking face off. And like Doug said, I just commit to the programs. Like, I've surprised myself. I mean, if I had not coached, I would have stopped at 80 Day Obsession. I lost my 25 pounds and was happy. Like, my clothes fit and it was fine. But because of coaching, I did the launch group with Lift 4 and committed to that program. If you just follow the Beachbody program for the year, I'm sure a lot of dollars and time goes into planning all of that. So just follow what they do. And so I did the Lift 4 launch group, got in the Shanti test group. And so just committed to all the programs and I haven't missed since I started February 20th. I haven't not posted a single day. So I invite at least 40 a day. If I don't invite one day, I make it up. So every single week I've ever coached, my weekly average output is about 200 to 250 invites. And I never don't show up on my timeline. So that's my journey.
That's awesome. So I think the takeaway I personally get from Heather before we have Autumn talk real quick is that like she didn't just hear Success Club 5 and like stick to that. And she didn't just hear like invite 5 and stick to that. Like she's just like, well, I think her motto is like, if you want more, you have to do more. And she has done just that. So I see so many coaches that come to me like, I want to be like Heather. And I'm like, well, do you know what Heather's doing? And so I'm really happy that you shared that because there's a lot more behind, you know, the pretty Instagram pictures. You know, you're thinking, oh, Heather has all the time in the world. She's a professor and a mom and has a husband that didn't, you know, agree with this in the beginning. So that's awesome. So Autumn, the reason we wanted Autumn to share as well is because she does things a lot differently. And we didn't realize that until us four started talking. We were like, holy crap, you guys don't do things the same at all. So we wanted to, you know, have her talk so you guys could see that there's also other ways to accomplish this.
Okay, so as you guys, I don't know how many of you guys know, but I started 2.5 years ago as a coach, and my road was a lot slower. My journey was a lot slower. But one thing we talked about how I don't invite as much as Heather does. I invite every single day. I show up on social media every single day. I start new conversations every single day. And I do that. And my mindset is like, even when I'm on vacation, I'm working because you know what? If you say I don't have to work, I'm on vacation, you're treating this job like it's not like the gift that it is. If you think I get to work when I'm on vacation and do this and change people's lives and you think of it that way, completely changes your mindset when you're working anyway. So it makes it something that's like easy to do. And how hard is it to send out a few messages, you know, every day? It's really not even, you know, and that's like yes, that I get to work. So anyway, that's always been the mindset for me. My husband is a varsity baseball coach. He is gone all the time. We live in Oregon where it's pouring rain, so he's rarely home. So it's me, 3 kids. My daughter is in competitive club sports. My son does sports, and then my youngest is in like gymnastics. So I'm taking kids to and from sports and school every day. And from like February till August, it's by myself. And so I just work in pockets anywhere I can, you guys. And that's always been my thing is like, if I can be working, I'm going to be doing it. Like, does that mean if I'm like, I don't want to exhaust myself to the point where, you know, oh, I don't like to work. I love doing it. Again, it's a mindset thing. But at the same time, like, I don't decide, oh, I don't have to do this today, because my dream and my goal, again, isn't Success Club 5 or 10. It never has been. It is my dream and goal is what I can do with this business and where I can go. And my why isn't Success Club. And if your why is Success Club 5, okay, cool, shoot for it, whatever. But my why is a lot bigger than that. So I've never, ever looked at Success Club 5 or 10 and been like, well, that's my goal and my dream, right? So I noticed the way that Heather's and my stories were a lot different. You know, I've been doing this for 2.5 years to hit elite. And that is hitting Success Club 10 almost every single month, hitting Success Club every single month, but 10 plus, almost all of them. And that is bringing in a lot of people and getting a lot of results for people. And then I have the people to get a group running when this year I had people that were ready to run. I had a lot of people. It's not like I just luckily held Diamond just barely and said, okay, of my 12 coaches, who wants to go for this? Like, I had a lot of people because I've been bringing people in for so long. And then last year, when I came into January 2018, I had no diamonds under me. And you guys have heard the story, I was injured. I wasn't even supposed to be working out at the beginning of January. And I'm like, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this work? But I just did what I could. And then I had someone sign up in January, went diamond in February. And I thought, well, if she's doing this, why aren't more people doing it? So then it like made me realize I just need to tell people, okay, we're going to do this. And then I had a girl who was an emerald for a while. She'd been with me for over a year. She went diamond right after that. I had a girl who had been with me for 1.5 years. She wasn't even emerald, go emerald, diamond like that. Then I was showing up on my stories on, you guys, I don't love stories. I even say this now for so many people today. I don't like stories. Like, me neither. But you know what? I meet people there, and that's people get to know me there. So I show up on them every single day. And one of my diamonds was watching my stories. And then we started talking, and that's how we went from there. And that, like, I remember we were at Summit. She hit Emerald when we were at Summit. And I was like, oh my gosh, she just told me she wanted the discounts. I need to go talk to her. And that was how it went. But then I said, okay, I started the tech strands, like Heather said. And then I just gave them more attention. Said, okay, let's run together. And they ran with me. And we actually had 6 girls running. And we ended up sticking with 5-star. But we had 6 people running, and we all ran together. I ran with them. We did our Diamond Dash together. I did them with them. And so that was it for me. It wasn't like some like thing where you guys just not like this year all of a sudden, okay, I'm going to start working. I have been working and showing up daily for 2.5 years, building the numbers so that when I say, let's run, who wants to run? I have people that have belief in our products. I have people that have seen my life change over the last 2 years that believe in what it can do for a coach's life. So that's for me what it was. And at the end of the day, when I looked at how different Heather and my stories were, the same thing is we both show up every single day. Success Club is a non-negotiable for us, but it is not our goal. And we also believe in the product and are proof of the product so that we can also breathe that belief into other people.
Yeah, and I just wanted to have you guys hear both of those stories because Heather did it in 10 months, went elite in 10 months. And so, she 10x'd her daily non-negotiables like crazy. Autumn is probably the busiest person I know. So when anyone else tells me I'm too busy to do shit, I'm like, but you're not Autumn, so that's not true because she's so busy and she doesn't use it as an excuse. And so she doesn't know how many messages she sends every day. She just sends messages every second that she can. She's not super organized, neither am I. But she still made it happen. And it was just over the course of 2.5 years that it took her to get there, And so I just think it's cool to hear both of those stories. They both were on their road to elite this year. Were you going to say something, Ben?
No, I just didn't want to make you talk if you weren't feeling like it. So I mean, like Ashley said, it can take you 10 months. It can take you 2 years, 5 years. There's no timeline on it. I don't think you have to do it within the first year you're a coach or first 2 years. But I think if anything, we just wanted to show y'all what's possible. And yeah.
And for this year, I think now, rather than saying, I want to be an elite coach this year, you say, I want to be what's the first one? Team builder. I want to be a team builder by the Success Club trip. Even if you're not going on it, you'll know that it's happening because it'll be all over social. So whatever that is in March or something, so then your goal is to build up to 1,000 week-like volume for the month. Your goal is to get to Diamond and hold it for 6 weeks, so that's going to be your first quarter goal. Don't say I want to be an elite coach this year. Say I want to be a team builder. I mean, you can have that out there, but it's just so pie in the sky. And if you don't break down actionable stuff you can do right now to get there, that's why I love this Road to Elite program, because it's check marks all along the way to help you instead of having this one huge thing. So I feel like that should be all of your guys' goals is team builder by end of March. And then by Summit, it'll be team leader, and you lock that in. And then, premier coach by whatever Q3 is. So there's no one right way to do it. There's lots of different roads and lots of ways to be successful. But at the end of the day, I think I don't remember who just said this, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to work. The 4 of us that made elite this year, none of us sat around and bitched. Well, I mean, sometimes there was bitching, but most of the time you're working, right? Most of the time you're like, well, that sucked, or this is a tough season, or this is a tough month, or whatever, but you just still work. And I think also we maintained the mindset of this is possible, even when it got hard. And it's funny because Heather, you were like, I don't even know if I knew that it was possible in November. I'm like, you knew in your bones. I feel like you knew in your bones, otherwise you don't shoot for it. But it's what is it, the subconscious and then the unconscious, whatever. There's the mind that you think with, and then the mind that's just in you. And I feel like all 4 of us have it in our minds, there, even if it's not our most natural thought, that like this is possible. And so I think I would just encourage all of you guys to stay rooted in that belief that it's possible this year for you, no matter how long you've been a coach, no matter if you've, you know, sucked it up for years and this is going to be like, it doesn't matter, right? Emily wrote a completely different story for her life this year. And she texted me today and told me she gave herself like a several six-figure raise this year in 1 year. And like her story could have been, well, I can never be an elite coach because I've been a coach for 4 years and I'm still a diamond. But that's not what her story was this year. She wrote a different story. So it doesn't matter what your story is or what your limiting beliefs are. All it matters is that you get to work, and then because it's super motivating in January. Like, yeah, everybody wants it. I have people coming out of the woodwork that like fell off in September. They're like, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, I'm sure you are, but will you stay ready? Like, will you stay ready when it gets hard? You guys are on this call tonight on January 1st, which is a great sign. But just know that there's gonna be times that really suck this year. I'm sure Heather, it sucked hardcore for her when she got to 2-star and was getting all this recognition, and then the wind came out of her sails and she lost 2-star. And at Autumn, I was just talking to Autumn about imposter syndrome. It's where you feel like you don't deserve the recognition that you're getting because, like, how could it be you accomplishing these things? And I felt that. Heather, Autumn, Emily, we've all felt that. But you just got to go for it, and then you got to know it's going to be hard, and you just keep going. A great book to read, if you haven't read it, is The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy. He talks about, like, entrepreneurship is a roller coaster. There's ups and there's downs, there's highs and there's lows, but at the end, it's a really fun ride if you show up. So, I think that's it. Anything else? All right, guys, thank you so much. Happy New Year. Thanks for hopping on, and we'll see you soon. Bye.